Welcome to an Idle Engineer Quick Build. It's hammer time. While cutting pieces for another project, I decided I wanted to try making a wooden hammer. Using maple, Purpleheart, and a chunk of scrap hardwood that we think is probably rosewood, we began by cross-cutting and ripping some maple and Purpleheart for the handle. Then we glued it up with Titebond 3. After the first glue up, we trimmed off the Purpleheart and then ripped it to size. After splitting the main plank, we glued those together to form a handle. During this glue up, we tried to maintain the alignment of the Purpleheart and used all the clamps. Once the glue was completely cured, we squared it up for turning. Being a wood turning novice, this took a while, but we were turning down a 3-inch long section for the handle to fit into the hammer head. Once we got close to final size, we used sandpaper to bring it down to a 1-inch diameter. We then ripped down the handle to final dimensions. Using the router table, we put a 45-degree chamfer on all edges of the hammerhead and the handle. Using the belt sander, we smoothed out the edges, and on the hammerhead, I added extra chamfers to give it a hand-hammered look. I used the card scraper to smooth up the handle. With the bandsaw, I cut a channel in the handle to receive the rosewood wedge I got from trimming up the hammerhead. After drilling a pilot hole, I used a 1-inch Forstner bit to put a hole straight through the hammerhead. After some Titebond 3, it was time to attach the handle to the hammerhead using the wood wedge. After the glue cured, I trimmed the end with a chop saw and used a belt sander to smooth it out. After sanding all the surfaces to 320, I applied 2 coats of Tung Oil. After the first coat dried, I used 4/0 steel wool to rough up the surface. This shape of handle was inspired by Japanese sushi knives, and I find it quite comfortable to use. Although I think Sally has laid claim to this one. Thanks for watching. I hope you follow us on Instagram and subscribe for future videos.